Hello, hello, hello. Deborah Razzo here, the founder of the Women's Real Estate Network, and I'm here with a friend of mine. I was going to say an old friend, but she's not that old. But we've been friends for a long time. Holly McCann. I'm pleased to introduce Holly McCann. She is going to be our featured speaker at our REN monthly meeting this March 20th, in fact. And she's going to be speaking to us about flipping. But here's what I really want to tell you is that her title of her speech is going to be 7 lessons learned from flipping 256 houses. Oh my goodness. This has been one busy lady. Before we get into how much you've done, let's talk about how you started this craziness.
Sure. Well, I'll give my whole back to the beginning background because I feel like that's important because most people who flip houses don't start doing it fresh out of college or fresh out of high school. Some do, but most of us arrive at that after a different career path. So I went to college and got an accounting degree and became a CPA and did accounting for 5 years out of college. And it was not the most exciting and best fit for me because I'm more of a people person. I don't want to sit and grind on a computer all day. So it wasn't a good fit. I took a break and had 4 kids and stayed home with them after the 5 year CPA thing. And then when the baby went to kindergarten, my husband and I had started doing real estate investing. We started flipping, and that was in 2008. And
that wasn't such a bad time, right? You were picking up some deals.
Right. It was really good. The banks were giving away homes on the courthouse steps for 50 to 65 cents on the dollar. That's if it would resell for 100 grand, even though we didn't really do many at that price, you could buy it for 50 to 60 grand, just to put some context in it. So yeah, that was, and we kind of got started then, and we have never bought a group of homes or a tape of homes. It's one at a time, and it's been 15 years and 256 houses.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible. And I think what's even more incredible is that you've been raising 4 kids during the whole time.
Well, now they're all adults. So that baby that was in kindergarten back then is now 21 years old, and he's my last one in college, which that's an interesting side note. I have a fund that flips homes to pay for the kids' college too. So that's pretty cool.
Okay. I love that. I love that. We have a mutual friend, and she gets a new house every time she needs to pay for something for the kids, right? I think that's such a wonderful idea. Like, I have a flipping fund for the kids' college. Okay, so tell me, what are you going to talk about? 7 lessons you've learned. I'm sure you've learned more than 7.
Well, I tried to condense it.
Yeah, so that we're not there all night. Oh, by the way, anybody who's listening, you want to join us on Wednesday, March 20th, 5 p.m. Pacific Central, and you register at renmonthlymeeting.com. But anyway, go ahead. Tell me what it is, what lessons have you learned? Where are you going to start?
Yeah, so first and most importantly is how to find deals, because that's a very important component of if you're going to flip or invest in real estate. Where and how do you find them, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the rule of thumb, right? I don't buy retail when I'm flipping. I don't buy retail when I'm even doing buy and holds, right? I need discounted property. I need property that's at a good deal so that I can make money, right? So you're gonna talk about how to find those, and it's an art. It's an art form. Yes, definitely. That's one of the best questions. I think people always ask me too, how do you fund them? The number one thing people come to me and say is, I can't be a real estate investor. I don't have any money, right?
Yeah, that can be overwhelming, intimidating, scary, because it's usually in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or in my case, we buy things over $1 million. We're in contract to buy one for $2.4 million right now. So we've definitely, raised our purchase price for sure. But yeah, so after you find them, how do you fund them? It can be multiple avenues, which I'm excited to share that night when I talk about it in detail, because there are options out there. It doesn't have to be from your own checking account. You don't have to have $1 million to start a house flip. So
No, you don't have to have $1 million. That's really important to know. Right. What else are you going to share with us that night? Just out of curiosity.
yeah, well, one of the lessons I've learned is what is not a good property to buy again. I'm
Mm.
sitting on one now in Palm Springs, and there's a few types of property to stay away from. I'll give you a clue what one of them is now. But if they have really high HOA dues, that particular property in Indian Wells, I think it's like $1,600 a month for HOA dues. And some people might be like, well, of course, how could you be so silly to buy something like that? Well, we got a really good deal on it. We thought it'd be okay, but now we've been holding it a couple of years. So we'll go into more detail that night about other properties I like to avoid and what my favorite properties are to get
Ooh,
so that you can be the most profitable.
I can't wait to hear that one. Bringing up Indian Wells, now I happen to know that you are housed in Southern California
Yep.
or OC, and you're talking about flipping in Indian Wells. Do you flip? Do you have an area, or restriction? Or I mean, Indian Wells is pretty far from OC, or is it anywhere you get a deal? I mean, how does that work for you?
Yeah, of course I'm in San Clemente, which is the southernmost tip of Orange County. I'm halfway between San Diego and LA. So those are the airports I look at besides Orange County whenever I'm going anywhere. And it's kind of interesting because we have done properties as far as, down to San Diego, up to the north side of LA, up to Studio City, and all the way out to the border of Arizona in a little town called Blythe that's right on the border. So I don't search those out, but if a wholesaler presents me one, I consider it and analyze it. I'm like, okay. And I do have a really good deal finder for me in the Coachella Valley, which is a Palm Springs, the whole valley there.
Mhm.
So we do kind of a lot in that area. And I've got a contractor for out there. So
And for those that are listening here that might not know what a wholesaler is,
yeah.
maybe you can give them an idea of what that is.
Yes, wholesalers are my friends. So wholesalers are, I would call them a middleman or middle woman who goes out and finds a below market or a good flip opportunity, or it could be a rental buy and hold opportunity. They tie it up under contract and then they assign that contract, or sometimes they do something called a double close to give it to somebody who has the resources, whether those resources are money or contractors or both. So I don't spend my time and money marketing for deals. I let the wholesalers do that work. And then I gladly pay them what's called a wholesale fee to assign that contract to me. And then I take it from there. So did that make sense?
Totally makes sense. So for anybody who doesn't know what a wholesaler is, that was a great description of wholesaling. Are you going to talk about like dealing with contractors now? And I can't remember, is your husband one?
He's not. He talks about getting his contractor license because he runs jobs all the time, but he hasn't done it just as a matter of time. Like,
No problem.
That's to remind me of this event, and we're on it. So, yeah.
So you guys have dealt with a lot of contractors then.
Yeah, for sure. And contractors can make or break you. And I've got stories to tell about that too. And I'm so happy to share my experiences so others can benefit from my painful experiences. Like if I can save other people pain and suffering, I want to.
Right. Well, I'm sure with 256 flips under your belt, you've learned a few things along the way. So if anybody is listening and you're interested in learning about what to avoid, about how to do it right, how to do it wrong, so you don't have to do it at all, come join us. And me, Holly McCann, and I will be having this meeting on Wednesday, March 20th. If you're interested in registering, it's just go to renmonthlymeeting.com and register. We'll be there. Holly's going to share all of her knowledge, a bunch of her knowledge with us, not all of it, obviously. Otherwise, we'll be there all night.
Yeah.
5:00 Pacific Standard Time. So come join us. Holly, I can't wait to listen to all that you have to share. Thank you so much for being on with me.
Oh, you're welcome. So happy to help others. Truly a pleasure.
Oh, good. All right. See you there.